for joining me on this first draft of my PechaKucha-ish style OD&C library presentation. This is definitely going to lean more towards the ish of the PechaKucha scale. So any comments are definitely welcome in terms of timing, of the visuals, of the content itself, and of the delivery. So yeah, thank you. A library, personal or public, is a resource to pull from when researching personal or professional interests. Scaling down the focus of a library to a single subject, in this case, organizational development and change, creates a focused and organized portfolio for an individual to access information and share resources with others interested in the field. While a library can be a secluded space, it contains information pulled from a variety of scholars and thinkers from an array of interests and fields. This element of collaboration is not lost when considering my own OD&C library. To build this library, I will require assistance from both the BGSU EMOD faculty, as well as input and recommendations from my learning cohort and external stakeholders. In my current housing situation, space for a grand library is a luxury that I am unable to afford. The development of my OD library is not a time-bound activity. New resources and information will be added to grow the collection. The books and texts provided during the EMOD program will serve as the library's backbone and provide structure. Articles and electronic media will all be stored digitally. For my OD&C library to grow, I will need to continually read and curate my selection of resources. Time, space, and motivation are all required to maintain a library to ensure to act as a valuable resource for myself and others. I have always had a strong attraction to the field of conservation and sustainability. Now more than ever, it is crucial to consider the environmental impact of individuals and organizations. My interest in sustainability has manifested itself in my professional life as the desire to start the conversation about sustainability in the fashion industry and to inspire others to continue the conversation through collaboration and change. Organizations are quickly understanding the importance of sustainability. Becoming a sustainable organization does not occur through a one-shot change intervention. Sustainability requires constant attention, adapting to new technologies, regulations, industry standards, and consumer desires. My dream job is to help manage and foster sustainable change as the Chief Sustainability Officer for a small to mid-sized luxury brand or group. In this role, I would partner with all divisions of the organization: design, manufacturing, marketing, visual, buying, retail, and wholesale, to develop a 360 approach to sustainable luxury. This position allows me to work directly with stakeholders, internal and external, to inspire and develop change solutions. During this course, the text that has been the most helpful to me has been the Change Handbook. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been going back through and reading additional intervention styles to the original 6 that we looked at. Through these, I've been trying to reverse engineer based on the desired outcomes of a whole system change intervention. It's been a bit of a mix and match, with some new ideas incorporated with others, and some styles blended together. This method, my own OD method, will have a bit more of a sustainability focus, with the desired outcome being around understanding sustainability from all perspectives and all sides of a business or organization or team. So the system itself will focus on whole systems change. It's going to be focused more on being proactive rather than reactive to a situation. And it's really going to tackle the root of the issue of sustainability and really having organizations, groups, and teams understand how sustainability can be a guiding principle and value to their overall culture. It's going to be based mainly suited for communities and organizations looking to adopt or create sustainable practices and guidelines, and again, focusing on whole system change. And it will require participation from all stakeholders, both external and internal, and those who have direct input on the system, so community leaders as well. So the purpose of this personal method, it's going to improve communication between internal and external stakeholders, between divisions and groups within organizations. It's going to provide an intersection of performance and sustainability, hopefully getting to the idea that in order to be a sustainable organization, you do not need to sacrifice performance, that ideally the two can go hand in hand, and that you can be sustainably focused while also performing at a high capacity. Again, ideally, this method will also provide an action-oriented plan with some time-bound deliverables. Some results that can be expected: some cross-functional teamwork, a strategic focus, focus on positive energy, similar to the the appreciative inquiry aspect. It's going to definitely require a lot of community stakeholder engagement, so engaging with individuals outside of the organization, really getting their input. And a big focus is going to be on changing the culture of an organization as needed. Again, really internalizing that sustainability value. So for the journey aspect, this will probably wait to be fleshed out until after the blended course Iron Chef, just until I kind of can understand a bit more about how these methods actually play out. I'm expecting it in terms of time requirements. Anything with a culture change is definitely going to take some time. So I'm definitely trying to factor that in. And to support follow through, I'm thinking it's going to take a lot of feedback, of course, how to build that in, whether it's through a feedback cycle, through surveys, through mentoring initiatives, through community leadership. I'm not entirely sure yet. I think that transparency is going to be very important, making sure that organization members do have a voice and a say across all levels of the organization, as well as making those decision-making or having those decisions be clearly visible, not only to the organization, but to the community stakeholders. And it will, again, require a lot of collaboration between internal and external stakeholders, especially in the fashion industry, where a lot of the production is outsourced to third-party companies. It's just going to be, it's going to take a lot of collaboration on that regard. So evidence, again, I'll have to go back through the texts, see what evidence and what theories and research that they have rooted these methods in. Again, since this is my own personal method, I don't really bring much experience and background, since my background is in luxury retail. I don't have much of a sustainability background other than my own personal interests. So I will definitely need to go back through the research and find some literature to support or to disprove my theories. Values. So what are the simple rules that guide the application of your method? Again, it just comes down to the sustainability aspect and really making it a core value, something that's really going to drive the culture of the organization. Model, I have not gotten that far yet, so we can skip over this. So my dream job, as mentioned before, would be to be the Chief Sustainability Officer. What this looks like, it's going to be to develop sustainable organizational policies and procedures, implement organization processes and policy changes, identify environmental concerns, evaluate program effectiveness, to manage outreach activities, and also to direct organization operations, present sustainable products and services to the public. A lot of those higher level functionings. For knowledge, skills, and abilities, for knowledge is going to require a lot of administration and management experience and knowledge, some design knowledge, skills, complex problem solving, critical thinking, social perceptiveness, abilities, reasoning, comprehension, expression, values of achievement, independence, recognition, and very heavy on relationships and empathy. In terms of styles, leadership, initiative, integrity, and innovation. A lot of this was all pulled from ONET Online. It's definitely a great resource if you are not familiar with it for finding out more information about specific jobs. It breaks it down by category as well. So the dream organization, like I said, more of a small to mid-sized organization. So what I have here, this is a kind of an organization chart of Kering Group. Kering is one of the leading conglomerates, I guess you could say, of the luxury world. They own many high-performing luxury brands like Gucci, Saint Laurent, Balenciaga, and some other pretty notable luxury brands. They're really highlighted here because they do have a chief sustainability officer who is actually very, very proactive in her role. And she is doing amazing things and really trying to make Kering a sustainable organization through all methods, include focusing on supply chain first, and then the retail capacity second. Ideally, this organization that I would work with has a multidisciplinary approach, combining in the worlds of art, technology, culture, and sustainability together, focusing on materials and construction, and again, being pretty visible. There's a brand out there called Everlane. They have kind of been the spearheads in making fashion more visible. They release all of their information on their website about where their factories are, where their factories are located, the vendors that they do business with, really trying to make the most impact, showing that they are doing the least harm possible. I consider the pros and cons of working at a conglomerate like the Kering Group. You definitely have a bigger platform to do more good, but you can be weighed down by the bureaucracy of things, and also being such a large scale organization that is publicly traded like this, you're more reliant on the needs of the shareholders and the boards, and profit has to come first. So my portfolio, what do I need to do to close the gap? Well, first of all, I need a lot of experience. I need to complete the EMOD program with BGSU, definitely learn how to manage these change initiatives, especially something like this that would require such buy-in and something so large at a scale as this. To complete the MIT program, which is my manager and training program that I'm currently at for work. To engage with executive and leadership teams to ask about sustainability practices within my own current organization. I have begun to reach out to leaders practicing sustainability in my field. Stella McCartney, the brand is actually owned by Kering Group, and they have been another spearheading brand in terms of sustainability, where all their products are sourced and produced with sustainability in mind and doing the least harm to the environment. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. The rest of the slide just kind of outline the remainder of the presentation, focusing on the resource toolkit and evidence library, as well as the conclusion and works cited. But let me know what you guys think so far. I apologize for the casualness, I guess, of this presentation. But again, just kind of free flowing, putting my thoughts out there.